We've got a clip on Sheldon Keefe on Auston Matthews, but before we go to it, I just want to revisit you guys in terms of where is Austin's game and how much more does he have to give, and what do you how does he have to look tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
You know, the only criticism I really have is that it hasn't gone in the net for him. He leads the team in scoring chances, and I know no one cares, but I'm just saying, like, it hasn't been wildly different. Physical and
from an intensity or a feel like he is all in on a scale of 1 to 10. Where's your number on Auston Matthews?
I mean, how could it be less than 10? This is all or nothing, right?
Yeah. See, I'm
balls on the line and
6.5, 7. I think he's got so much more to give.
Yeah.
From shift to shift to look like a dominant player.
You're saying previous to tonight's game?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I just think that there's another gear I'm waiting from Auston Matthews to dominate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
where are you?
I mean, a big reason they're down 3-0 or we're down 3-0 in this series, now 3-1, were their four guys' inability to produce. And like you said, Bourne, he's had scoring chances, and Tavares had a ton of scoring chances throughout but those chances doesn't matter. You've got to finish. And if they're going to turn this around and come back, they need Matthews to be Auston Matthews. Like, tonight is a signature game on home ice with a chance to really propel yourself towards some pretty incredible history. It's the type of game where a super duper star that Auston Matthews is, puts what on the table and puts a couple in the net and takes over physically and gets to the front of the net and is in the middle of the ice. Tonight's one of those kind of games, and I'm expecting it from him tonight. I really am.
Yeah, I thought that's what Kip was asking, what I wanted to see tonight. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's, these are judgment days for him for 88, 91, 16. I mean, their reputations are made in these moments.
I'd fight my mom to win another Stanley.
Let's see if any mom fighters are out there.
I think the perception has always been that even 16, even 88, even 91, but Austin is above them. We've had Austin in conversations where it's Connor, McDavid, and Austin.
Right.
And he's lost that this year.
For sure.
No question.
It's, it's funny. He's going to score 40 goals. He's got 5 goals in 10 playoff games. And it's tough to not step back from it and be like, this year was a little disappointing for Matthews, So, I mean, you want to change that. There's still time. But, boy, hourglass sand is just about run out here.
And I thought in the first round, he was in front of the net way more. In terms, you still see a couple times here where he's battling with Ekblad and, but it just felt like a lot of his scoring came right from the middle of the ice and right in the sweet spot. Like, you think of the tips that he had in game 4, game 3 against Tampa. I think the front of the net versus Florida is much less desirable for a forward than it was against Tampa. You think of who you're going in there against. Like, you're going in against Ekblad. Radko Gudas is a butcher.
Yeah.
Stahl. It's not as accessible, and I think you kind of have to push through that and fight to the front of the net for him. So I'm expecting a big one from him tonight. I really am.
All right, let's see what Sheldon Keefe is expecting out of Auston Matthews for our first Kippers Clipper of the day.
Obviously, each one of them you feel like
is
going to go for him. He's had a lot of opportunities. Some really clean, especially early in this series. Not as many on the road, but obviously that crossbar that he hits early in game 3, you feel like that's the one. Not only that it would have set the tone greatly for that game, but for him to start the game that way, and it didn't fall. So, I think the real key for any of our players, no matter what they're going through, is to just focus on their game, shift to shift, and the little habits and the things that we need them to be doing defensively and all of that. And the chances are going to continue to come. And we need to score, as a team, we need to score one more goal than the opposition. And that's really where the focus has to be.
So he's still going back to the chances aren't falling. They love to say falling. They all are like, the chances aren't falling.
Yeah.
But even the players say it.
Do they?
They're not falling.
Yeah. Which is weird. It's such a basketball term, right?
Yeah. They're not going in. And he went back to it again when he was asked about him.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think how'd you refer to it, Sammy, as a kind of a signature game or moment for Auston?
And not just Auston. Marner as well.
Yeah.
Like, those two guys are the two best players in this team. It's a signature moment for both of them.
But only one of them by July 1st could be asked to be the highest paid player in the league on an extension.
Which it plays into this. And this is the type of game where the highest paid player in the league shows up. And he's a great player on home ice. Like, he's been dominant his whole career at Scotiabank Arena.
You have any issues with the Leafs losing tonight and maybe Auston playing a B game instead of an A game and him still asking to be the highest paid player July 1st?
I think it would be sour until then. And then he signs it and you're just happy he's staying, I think. Would be probably the Leaf fan feeling.
Yeah, I imagine you want him to be a part of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, whatever the revisions that happen to this team, you sure need him to be a part of it. So
listen, people will be incredibly pissed off at him and Mitch if he's no good tonight. Like, there's just no question. That will be a huge talking point. That'll be one of the main talking points. But, time heals all wounds. We get to July. Weather's warm. It's Canada Day. He signs a contract.
Hard to find another one.
People will be happy.
What's that?
It's hard to find another Auston
player like that. Yeah.
Matthews.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a legit 40, 50, 60 on a career year season.
Yeah, you just never get better, right? You never get better by trading guys like that.
There's so many dominoes again, and not to rehash them because we have, but who's resigning him is the one that I look at. But hey, big win tonight, and you delay that one.
Honestly, Kyper, like, you're smiling like we shouldn't be talking about it. But
well, no,
we should be talking about it. This is a huge, swing moment.
I know, but I'm not sure, like, now's the time to start deep diving the what ifs.
No, but, like, the way you mentioned it and kind of, like, your tone, it's like, it's not an unfair thing to be talking about at this point. Like, if they lose tonight, it's really no different than them getting swept in terms of what happens.